I mean, that's pretty much our world. Our world is, this is how life goes, this is how life goes. Bam, something's gonna change it up. Hey, you can't do that, you can't do that. Watch me. And then all of a sudden, that becomes the way. How does rebellion benefit us in life? Being a rebel is what got America to be America. America is a pissed off teenager from the start. I'm not going for some nigga way over in England telling me what to do, you know what I'm saying, sending his henchmen, to come fuck with me. So we're gonna toss, the tea in the water and it's about to go down. But being a rebel per se, it's benefit us for the sense of freedom. You need something, you need to know the rules so you know how to break them, and you can do your best to live by the rules, but it doesn't mean you're gonna get the outcome that you hoped. I mean, a lot of us, myself included, and you guys watching, I'm sure, can recall a time where you thought doing everything right would get you the life that they told you that you would have, and you don't have it. Whether it was, going to college, getting a great job, sure, you'd be happy with that, getting you a family, doing, like, being devoted to your spouse, only to still get served, with like divorce papers, or be cheated on, or be let go at a job and you did everything right and they let you go so a computer could take your job, or somebody else with nepotism or something like that. They fired you so they could hire a family member. You know what I mean? Doing right by the rules isn't always bull well in your favor. It's less chaos, but less chaos means safe, and safe has no adventure. So there has to be a rebel inside you. There has to be something about you that says fuck the rules, and that you want to express that in some way. I mean, you look at hip hop. Hip hop is nothing but rebellion, rock and roll. Almost every form of music was like a form of rebellion against a particular rule. You know what I'm saying? Being sexual on records, being sexual music videos, being sexual, period. You know what I mean? There's a sense of freedom that comes with that expression, sexual expression, musical expression, just different ways you can express yourself. Tattoos, earrings, tongue piercings, nose piercings, lip piercings, earlobe piercings, wherever the fuck else you get piercings, piercing in general. It's a form of expression. And there's a rebel inside all of us, And sometimes we praise it, and sometimes we're like, yeah, you could have gone without doing that shit, But it's just preference, right? But what other people feel about your expression has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And all of us got to find that rebel within us. And, so what I say is benefit is, first things are, they're abnormal. And that's where the rebellion comes in. And then eventually it becomes the normal. So, that's pretty much our world. Our world is, this is how life goes, this is how life goes. Bam, something's gonna change it up. Hey, you can't do that, you can't do that. Watch me. And then all of a sudden, that becomes the way. And then keep going through. Hey, you can't do that, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that. Watch me. And then that becomes the way. That is rebellion. You know what I'm saying? We'd be hypocrites to look at rebellion and be like, oh, probably shouldn't do that. But that's our life. Literally, it's our life. You got people that follow rules and you got people that break rules. You know what I'm saying? and and then you got people that make their own rules, only to break them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, rebellion is it's human nature, really. It's definitely humans. Humans got that down packed, being a rebel. You know what I'm saying? It's just various forms of it. Like I say, gangster rap. Gangster rap was a form of rebellion against, LAPD, and to highlight what was going on, in inner cities. And once they saw it was lucrative, it became the way. Don't get it confused now. Granted, rebellion was great, it was helpful and all that stuff, but there was a lot of cost that it took to get to that point. And that's just the fighting spirit that America was supposedly known for. But when certain people do it, it's frowned upon. You can look up as many cases as you will with situations like that, where a particular group of people are not able to rebel as much as another group of people. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's blacks, gays, transgenders, short people, tall people, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, men, women. We pick and choose who's allowed to rebel and who's not, and as far as like the penalty for them rebelling. But it's rebellion, you know what I mean? It's part of our existence. We do not get what we have without someone saying, fuck these rules, I'm gonna do what I want to do. My mom doesn't like that I listen to rock music. I'm gonna be a rock star, and rock stars are born. My parents don't really feel this hip hop shit. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna become one of the top hip hop artists in the world. And you know what I'm saying? They won't let me do these paintings. I'm gonna fucking do these paintings anyway. They won't, they say, I sound like fucking DJ Khaled right now. They say I couldn't do it, so I did it, But pretty much those things, you don't have to listen to what people say. They're doing that based off of their own limitations that they have. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they either they don't understand it or they don't believe that they could do it. So they're going to project their insecurities onto you and say that you're not able to do it. But that's the beauty of rebellion. Do it anyway and find out if you can. At least you know. If you find out that you're not able to do whatever it is that you want to do, move on and do some other shit. Now you got more courage to go after shit that you've never done before. But leave that fucking comfort zone. Us rebels don't need that shit. There's no thriving in the comfort zone. So, find your rebel spirit. Find something that you rebel against. Live your life. Tell everybody else to fuck off. Based off what you've been through, what healing advice would you say to yourself at 13, 25, and present day? All right, so let's talk about 13. And that 13-year-old boy that I can see right now. He's got a light fade, he's tall, lanky. He's probably built like one of them niggas in Avatar. You know what I'm saying? Real fucking skinny, long ass arms and shit. Loves basketball, great smile. At 13, the advice I would give, she's just a girl, man. She's just a girl. And girls are going to, you guys are too young to be dealing with these emotions anyway. You guys should be focused on like building wealth. Even at that age, 13 years old, learning how to understand financial literacy and focus on and learn to love you, man. Truly, you're a good dude. You're a real good dude. Life just right now, you got acne going on, a lot of grease on the face. You're coming into your own. You got growing pains. The healing advice that I would give to myself at 13 is just to stay the course, bro. Like, don't allow yourself to get distracted by things that's not even going to matter in a year, let alone 5 years or 10 years down the line. I mean, how many of us can look back at a time when we thought life was over because of a damn relationship in middle school and laughing at ourselves now? I can't believe we tripped over that person. And once you see them as a grown person, you know, you just get so caught up in yourself. You get so caught up in your own emotions, your attachment to people, unhealthy attachments. You know what I'm saying, that we have. We most of us tend to look at love as possession instead of appreciation. So when there's a breakup, we feel like we're losing a piece of ourselves when really we've just returned what was never ours. You know what I mean? But I mean, a 13-year-old's not really gonna grasp that. But I mean, it can be taught, but it's not gonna grasp that until he goes through with it. 13-year-old me. Like I say, loved to play basketball, was a big DMX fan. Healing advice. The jokes that you hear at school, don't take it personal. About your ears, being skinny. Yeah, 13 was actually fun. Like I said, 13 was fun for music, and a lot of other things. Just being able to play video games, but for the most part, like what you're about to embark on, me at 13, prepare, what you think this is something, just wait a year later until your world gets rocked, you know what I'm saying, by what you thought you saw, you know what I'm saying, the trauma that was about to, be around the corner, you know what I mean? So, 25-year-old me. Ooh, healing advice. Sounds very same to 13. She's a woman. She's just a woman, man. Don't attach yourself. Lose that this codependency that you have for these women right now, man, at 25, and like try to turn them into your mother. It's sickening. It's unhealthy. And that's not fair to you, and it's not fair to them. For them to be responsible for you. They're not responsible for you, man. You're 25 years old. Like, you guys have your own individual mindsets, and you're individuals. You know what I mean? Forgive her for what she did. Forgive yourself for what you feel you did, and understand that these things happen, man. And dwelling on this for this long, sitting with this beginning stages of porn addiction is not going to bode well for you in the long run. Like, there's so much going to be you're going to be faced with in the next 10 years that are going to challenge you. And if you're going to get through that, you have to understand that you need to focus on loving yourself. You need to love yourself unconditionally so that you don't go around chasing a bunch of people that do not love you because you don't love yourself. 25-year-old me, just trying to figure out life in Miami. Yeah, life in Miami. This is 2010. And breakup was like a year ago. Stop using the fucking excuse. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much living in fear. It's not gonna help you. Don't run from these emotions. Face them, embrace them, let them sit, let them marinate, digest, and let them go. Honestly, let those emotions go. Stop replaying the movie. Don't replay the horror movie. And I believe that's what we tend to do sometimes. We tend, like, those feelings were meant to come and go and be gone. But we like going back to our favorite scene in the horror movie. Hold on, let me go hit rewind on the VCR for you young motherfuckers. That's what we had before DVD players and Blu-rays and streaming services for that matter. But hit back on the VCR and keep playing that same scene that you wish you could change because you're after perfection. You don't feel like you can be loved with mistakes. So it has to be perfect so that you can feel loved. And no amount of rewinding is going to change the movie. It was meant to be that way. That was in the script. You were supposed to go through it, but you were supposed to go through it. You know what I mean? You had to go through the situation so that you could come out where you are right now with a better understanding and lessons that came from being in that situation. But 25-year-olds that don't know about mental health at the time and don't understand self-love and self-care, they're not gonna pay attention to that. But healing advice for 25-year-old me, and now present day me. Healing advice, you're doing the best you fucking can right now with what you know. So give yourself grace. Understand that perfection is not real. You can be loved with mistakes. You are loved. You have to change your negative self-talk, the voice that whispers. You know what I'm saying? I heard it last week. I think it was in Don Miguel Ruiz's, I think it was Master of Love, where he talked about it's not the voice that yells loud or whatever. It's the one that whispers in our ear that speaks the loudest. You know what I mean? You're a failure. You're not good enough. You're not worthy of love. You know what I'm saying? All these things that we tell ourselves, and we try to, cover that shit up with, bravado, false bravados, with social masks, with a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? The weight room, being charming, charisma, video games, porn, music, a love for music, anything, any distraction from feeling that feeling, walking away from how that feels, you know what I'm saying? And no matter where you go, there you are. You're going to have to face what you've been running from and embrace that feeling and let it fucking go. It was meant to be felt, and it was meant to get the fuck on. But, like I said, now that we present day, I'm pressing on the streaming service, I'm hitting rewind on the Fire Stick remote, modified, by the way. I'm hitting rewind on the Fire Stick remote, playing, the scene back, trying to change what the fuck happened. And it wasn't meant to be changed. It was meant to be that way, and it was meant to move forward. It's like playing those role player games where you get to decide, I know they got some of them like in high school and shit, and you get to decide who's dating who, and if you make this decision, it'll go this way. If you make that decision, it'll go that way. That's all life is, There's no right or wrong. We don't know if it's right or wrong until we look back based off of what we wanted, based off of our desires and our aversions to things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the one thing we gotta get in our head. And like, if I do this, I don't wanna make a bad decision. I don't wanna make a good decision. You don't really know that it's a bad decision unless you've done it before. And even sometimes it might mean try harder, stupid. You know what I'm saying? Or try hard, focus a little bit more. You might have tried to start a business, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't work out. What are you gonna do? Now, you gonna quit? Or are you gonna find another way to work the business, or do the same thing, just a little bit, kind of alter it a little bit more with the same plan? That can happen. Of course, talking to the same toxic person, you ain't gonna change the person. Whatever you see is what you get with people. The only thing you can do is remove your ass. That's all you can do. You're not able to change them. I mean, you can scare them, you can instill fear in them, but eventually they're gonna go back to what they want to do, because that's just default behavior. You know what I mean? So it's like learning to accept people for who they are and limiting your amount of communication with them. If indeed that it's not for, it's not for you, that it doesn't bode well for your mental health. You never fucking feel wrong for choosing yourself at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no guilt that comes with choosing yourself. Now, I'm not talking about leaving people high and fucking dry. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went to Walmart together. It's like 20 minutes from the house, and I just leave your ass at Walmart. I ain't saying do shit like that. But when it comes to, all right, I gotta make a decision. Am I gonna go out tonight, or I'm gonna stay here and actually do nothing? That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Sit with my thoughts. Not talking about being depressed in bed, but literally just be okay with sitting still listening to music or watching a movie at the house versus going out to the club, you know what I mean, or lounge, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to do that too. But whatever decision you make, stick with it and don't let anybody make you feel guilty for it. That's the healing advice that I would give, I'm giving to myself these days, you know what I'm saying? Like, understanding what it means for mental health, mental wealth. The club ain't going nowhere. Nothing outside the house ain't going nowhere. It's a bunch of people wanting to be validated by seeing the same people that go to the same spots every fucking weekend. You know what I mean? And I just get more from healthy conversations. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, 25, I wanted to be up in every VIP party trying to be validated. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be up at Passions and Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale every other fucking weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to see what was new, who was going to be the same person there, and you know what I'm saying? And like mingling, just looking, you know what I mean? Like dopamine is at an all-time high between the beer, seeing new people, and just, it becomes the thing. Of course, y'all know, if you've ever lived the club life, you see that shit. You see the same people, and they just start playing musical chairs and shit with the people that they talk to, especially if you live in a small town. You can see shit like all the time. But growth is essential. And taking care of yourself, like I said, self-care, self-love, love yourself unconditionally so that you can learn to love others unconditionally, learn to forgive yourself. Number one, truly forgive yourself, let you know that you are lovable even though you make mistakes. That's how you really forgive yourself. It's understanding that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. And the love comes from you because you are loved, you know what I mean? You just have to change your mindset. You're not trying to get fulfilled by anybody. You don't need anybody to fill you up. You're not broken and you're not incomplete. The person only complements your life, that's it. And if a person's treating you less than, you feel like you're worthy of, then it's up to you to move on from that point. But, healing advice for 13, healing advice for 25, healing advice for now. Ultimately, stay the course, love yourself, self-care, and take care of your mental health. What's something you're great at doing, but seldom give yourself credit for? Man, motivation. Yeah, if anything, motivation, man. Like being able to talk myself out of the dumps, think myself out of the dumps, changing my mindset out of the dumps. You know what I mean? Like I'll have friends, you know what I mean, that'll call and share whatever it is they're going through. And I honestly, I'm gonna say it's from doing a lot of reading and experience and listening to YouTube videos, you know what I mean, with similar situations. But the answer just comes right there. Now there's times where it's just me and those answers are, my brain is caught up in the fog. Like my cortisol levels due to stress is too high for me to think clearly. And I'm not able to just pull from these lessons that I've learned. I'm able to help my friends out, you know what I'm saying? Like whenever they want someone to just listen, vent, maybe even offer some, some sound advice. But when it comes to you, sometimes it can really take a toll on you. When that negative voice starts speaking, the ego is never good enough, where it is. It always feels like it has to be more than what it is. You're either on top of the world or the world's on top of you. When the ego is present, that's how you know the difference. When you're operating from your soul, like, the light that shines through everything, you're balanced. You know what I'm saying? You're just in the center. You're not too concerned about trying to be better than anybody else. You don't compare yourself to anybody but you yesterday. You don't beat yourself up. And I honestly can say that, I had a setback, right? I was feeling kind of low, like really just low, man. And I couldn't connect it. And I finally did last week when I got a recharge from reading The Mastery of Love and The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, which I love that, man. I hope I get to meet him before he, leaves us to go into the next universe or wherever, the spirit takes him. But that feeling of that little voice, the one that whispers, the one that whispers to you and just kind of tells you that you're not enough, which is pretty much a recording of what you heard when you were a kid, or for how you felt when you were a kid, and when you don't have that voice when you're younger to kind of encourage you, and kind of send you on your way, you hold on to those voices, and that becomes your identity, if you will. Doesn't matter how much you try to cover it up, but you're holding on to it because you believe that that's what you're worthy of. But you couldn't be any more, incorrect about yourself. You're so much more. Wherever you feel like you are right now, you're so much more. I don't care how low you feel. I don't care how high you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much more to you. You create you every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day you're creating a new you, whether you know it or not. You know what I mean? Like, each day is a separate life. That's a Seneca quote. But we're just creating based off the decisions that we make. We can switch it up. We're gonna do the same programming. Like, we're computers. So whatever program, whatever ROM that we're running on, if we keep doing the same patterns, we're gonna get the same thing in return. But everything that we've done was once new. Just keep that in mind, you know what I'm saying? So we have the power to make changes. We can change our positions in life. We can change where we are in life. We can change how we think. We can change, the way we eat. We can change how we live. We can change the way we talk. We can do so many things. We're humans. We have so many capabilities. But what gets us is fear, I believe. I know for sure with me. It's like that, like fear of being judged, fear of being criticized, fear of not fitting in, fear of a whole bunch of shit that don't even fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? And just having that courage. Like, I love the kids, the creative, creepy kids in high school that have the courage to be themselves and not look like everybody else that's in the herd. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to follow the herd. The herd is a safe space. And I respect all those people who have the courage to just be weird to the normals, to the people that's normal, to the being weird to mediocrity. A lot of people want to do what everyone else thinks, like, oh, why are you wearing that? What are you comparing it to? You're comparing it to what the consensus does instead of just being yourself. And who are we to judge? Why are we so important that we can judge what another person does? You know what I'm saying? As far as what they're wearing, who they choose to date, what they choose to do in the privacy of their own home, what they do on their lunch breaks, what they do, what type of music they listen to, the movies they watch. We are not so cool that we can judge them. It's just different than what we have. It's just, learning to accept people and allowing them to have a preference, man. We're humans. We're humans, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's got different, different things that they're into, and that's okay. Doesn't have nothing to do with me. There's more life to go around. You can be you. I can be me. Leave me the fuck alone and live your life. And, it's just funny when you're younger and you pick on like the kids that don't do what everybody else does. And those kids tend to grow up and do their own thing while you're sitting there trying to fit in and afraid to be yourself for fear of being criticized, or fear of being judged, because that's what you did to somebody else. And I think it's time for us to grow up. All of us, man. There's too much life to go around to pick on someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them do whatever the fuck they do. Let you do whatever the fuck you do. And it's just funny. It's funny to me. But having that but that motivation, and I said all that to say, bring it back again, having that motivation to just get out of your, like I said, get out of your own mind. And it can be a dangerous place, a very dark space, depending on how, the program, your early stage programming, your childhood programming will determine whether or not you have positive things to say to yourself or you have negative things to say to yourself. And you have to be in charge of the program. You have to manage your thoughts. If you do not manage your thoughts, that means somebody else is. Either you control your mind or your mind controls you. You have to be on your grind. You got to be on your shit. And do not allow anyone to influence you to believe that you are not as amazing as you truly are. We all are, you know what I mean? No person here on this earth is too big, too good, too great to tear you down for the sake of just tearing you down. You know what I'm saying? That's a person in pain. It's a weak person that I believe that person's weak to tear people down who don't fuck with nobody. You know what I mean? Upliftment, positive energy, putting that out there. And I think that's what I want to push towards. I want to push towards, putting out positive energy, because whatever you push out there is what you're going to get back. And some people build for it, some people about it, and will take the risk of putting out negative energy only to get it back. And I say those people are still in pain, because what do you really get out of it? You know what I'm saying? It's like a validation. Like, to me, it looks like it's like validation or whatever, and validation that we don't even fucking need. But I mean, like I said, something great at, and what seldom do, or whatever the fuck the damn topic question was, I would have to say it's like being your own motivator. You know what I'm saying? Like offering, like using the information, all the information that you've obtained, soaked up, and knowing when to use it when you're stressed the fuck out, when you're too stuck in your mind. And you know what I'm saying, you're listening to your ego more than than just understanding that these are just thoughts going through. But I mean, the pressures of being human, right? But that's why you live, that's why you learn, and that's why you move the fuck on, and you create new memories, you create new programming for your mind, and to do the best you can.